Alright guys, we are back. Hollywood Casino. I guess we're going to play some 1-3. Unless there's a 2-5 game, but there normally isn't. There's only, I think, 4 or 5 games going. But, first thing though, go down and subscribe. And like. And, let's get in there. Alright, temperature checked again, we're good to go. Let's go get chips up here. Alright, so we're in the poker room now. We take our seat, and we are playing 5-handed. And this is the first orbit. We are on the button. We look down at a couple of 9s. We make it $8, standard open, $8 to $10, and both of the blinds call. Yeah, we make sure they're 9s. They are. So we go 3 ways to a flop of ace, queen, deuce, rainbow. Good for our range. They both check it to me. I decide to check back. Heads up, I'm betting all day. But we just check this one back. Go either way, I guess. Turns an ace. They both check again. We bet 10. One player folds, one player calls. We go heads up to the river, which brings yet another ace. So we have a full house. He checks it to me again. I don't really see much value I can get from betting, maybe unless he has a smaller pocket pair. But we just check it back, and he shows queen 8 for a better hand. All right, so very next orbit on the button, we look down at ace queen, and player to our right's been opening to 10 a fair amount, I'd say every couple hands, which he does again. And ace queen here is a great candidate, especially being on the button, to 3-bet, and that's what we do. We make it $35, and the blinds go ahead and make the folds. Back on the original razor, and he decides to make the call. So heads up to a flop of ace, 9, 2 hearts. So great flop for us. He checks it over to us, and we go ahead and fire $40 on the flop. I think we could have sized a little smaller, maybe 30, 35. Maybe we can get a call, but he folds pretty quickly, and we take that one down. All right, it's been a couple orbits later, and we look down at ace king on the button. So once again, picking up some big hands on the button here. There's one limper in front of us, comes around to us on the button, and we make it 12. A small blind, surprisingly, puts in the call fairly quickly. He's been pretty active, but he hasn't been raising a ton, so he's been pretty loose passive. The other 2 players fold, and we go heads up to a flop of ace jack 3. So very good flop for us. He checks dark. So we're going to bet for sure. We bet 15. And he doesn't think too long before making the call. So we go heads up to a turn, which is, I believe, a queen. He checks instantly again. We go ahead and bet 30 on the turn. And he doesn't think too long before folding. So we take this one down. I may have could even sized up a little bit more, like 35, 40, but gets the job done, and we take that one down. All right, here we're under the gun with pocket queens, which I guess I didn't get on camera, but we have queens, and we made it 10 under the gun. We got one caller. Flop was jack 3. We lead for 10. This is a guy that didn't really know what he was doing. He didn't really know how to play, so he was just calling pretty much with anything. But yeah, he calls the 10 on the flop. The turn is a 10. He checks again, and we go ahead and bet 20. I feel like he's the type of player that if he had a jack, he's definitely going to raise us on the flop, and if not, he will here on the turn. So once he calls us here on the turn, we know we're good. River is a 6, pretty much a blank. He quickly checks it again, and we're definitely going to go for some big value here. We decide to bet to the tune of $60, and he thinks about it for a few and decides on a fold. So we take that one down with queens, Maybe I just go a little bit smaller to try to get some value, but yeah, we take that. So we decided to limp pocket fours here on the button. 3 ways. Flop is 6-5-4 rainbow, so we flop bottom set on a somewhat coordinated board. Once again with the bad player. They both check it to me. I bet 5 on the flop. They both call. Turns a queen of spades. They both check it again. We decide on a bet of 15 here. One player folds, and the player that has no clue what's going on decides on a call. So the queen of spades does bring a flush draw, so that's somewhat concerning, but I mean, against this player, not too much. The river card, although, is the deuce of spades, so a terrible card, but he does check it to us. So once again, I mean, if I feel like if he has it, he's going to bet. He checks. We go ahead and bet 20 for value, and he shows king 4 for a pair of fours, and we are good.
They do it, it's hard, when the doctor looks at you. What'd you say? When your doctor looks at you and says,
it's free to call here, sir. $3? $3? It's $3. $3.
All right, so one of the last hands of the session, we decide to straddle, and we look down at 8-9 of spades. So 3 ways to a flop of king, queen, 6, 2 spades. We go ahead and check it. And player on the button who does not know what he's doing decides to bet 6. So small bet, we go ahead and call. We go heads up to a turn, which is an 8 of diamonds. So we do make a pair. We go ahead and check it. And he checks it back. So at this point, pretty sure I'm good. River card is the deuce of spades. So we make our flush. And I want to make sure I get some value here. So I go ahead and lead for $20, and he pretty much snap calls us and shows pocket deuces for a rivered set, but that is no good against our flush, so we go ahead and take that one down to end the session. So we go to swipe our card, and I'm like, why do I have $0 in comps? I put in like 30 hours this month at least, maybe 20, but still. So we talked to the floor manager in the poker room, and she said, I guess because they're not taking money for promotions, they aren't doing the comps, but she's like, we'll feed you every time you come in here. So they gave me a comp redemption. So we're gonna go to the eatery and get something to eat. That is a monstrosity of a dog. All kinds of flavors going on. Green olives, black olives, peppers, capers, oregano. All kinds. Really good though. Okay, so it was nice getting fed by the poker room. I didn't know that they would just give you a comp no matter what, because I guess they're not giving dollars away because they're not putting it into the promo. There's no promotion, so it makes sense. But yeah, that was actually a really good hot dog. I just got their famous eatery dog. I don't know, it was like loaded up. It was good. But we're in the game for $300, out of the game for $450, so we win $150. So another solid session. I don't think we've lost to Hollywood this year, so it's looking like we're gonna go to 2021 undefeated, 6-0 or 5-0. We won at Caesars. But yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe and like the videos if you like them. I'm assuming you do.
But yeah, subscribe. It helps the channel a lot, and we'll just keep on. We'll just keep trying to put them out, put these videos out. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you for watching, guys.